Just like your divorce decrees and your businesses, the government sees those as like contracts where you have services that you're doing, and if it didn't work, you're settling the debts. If it did work, then you're being paid for services rendered. So they're not considered a gift, which is just something that you want to think about when it comes to how do you structure your finances? How are things looking in your family? Hi, it's Dre Griggs with Obsidian Wisdom. Today we'll answer the question, how much money can I gift without it being taxed? I get this question in a variety of ways with different, dollar amounts. People say, Dre, can I gift my kids $30,000? Some will say, can I gift my kids $100,000? Is there any way that I can give money to family members to help them with their medical bills and everything without being taxed? Like, I don't want to pay all these gift taxes. And I think that's fair, right? Who wants to pay extra money in taxes when you're just trying to help someone out? And so we'll answer this question in two ways. First, we'll talk about just the straightforward, where there's $17,000 that you and then $17,000 that your spouse can gift. So that means you can give $34,000 each year without that amount being taxed. So you could give your kids, between you and your spouse, $30,000 and that amount would not be taxed. But based on that specific rule, then yes, $100,000 would have been taxed. And then the next question normally is, are there any other ways that we can gift our money without it being taxed? We're not interested in paying all these extra taxes, but we do want to gift a certain amount. And if it has to be done in one particular year where you can't say, well, I'll do $17,000 this year, then we'll do $17,000 next year. And then we start talking about transfers that are exempt from gift taxes. And there's like 7 or 8 of them, and depending on your situation, some will work and some won't work, but we'll go over all of them and then you decide what makes the most sense for your family. So number one is we have transfers to a political organization. So anyone that's in politics, you've probably seen it where people will gift to a political campaign. They're allowed to gift a certain amount. There's different rules on how much the politician can accept under different and various reasons, but overall that is not considered a taxable event for you as the gifter. And so you're able to give money to political organizations, and that is exempt from the gift tax. And what I mean by exempt from the gift tax is if you gave $5,000 to a political organization, it would not be subtracted from the $17,000 that you're allowed to give in gifts each year. So when you think about it from that perspective, what that ultimately means is you could have given someone $17,000 in the exempt gift, and then you can give them the additional amount that you're allowed to give them through their political action committee or whatever political organizations that you're allowed to give to. And now you've been able to increase the amount that you're able to give them. And the next one would be considered a qualified transfer. So that's when you pay money directly to the school if your kid's going to college, or you pay it directly to the hospital if you're paying for the medical bills. And instead of you giving the person, so let's say someone's like, you know what, Dre, I had my foot broken and it's going to cost $10,000. Well, you could give them the $10,000 and then you would say, all right, I'm still allowed to give $7,000 more this year, and that would be under the gift exclusion. But if you gave the money directly to the hospital, then you still can give the person $17,000 in addition to the amount that you gave to the hospital, because that amount is excluded from the gift amount. So if you pay someone's college directly, if you pay someone's medical bills directly to the institution, then that would be considered a qualified transfer, and that would not impact the amount that you're able to give someone. So if you wanted to give someone $1 million because they needed this crazy surgery that only like 2 doctors could do in the whole world, you can pay directly to that hospital and cover that person's expenses, and it would not be a taxable event for you. So the third one is payment for support. This could be support of your children or any other dependent. They're normally going to be dictated by a legal document. So the court has said, this is your responsibility. These are bills that you have to pay. And so you adhering to the court's rulings, that is not considered a gift. That's your responsibility. And so you need to pay it. It doesn't always end at 18. If the court document said that you're paying for the kid's college or really anything that the judge or you and the other person agreed to, that wouldn't be considered a gift. So if that is written into the document, then you're able to pay that and it wouldn't be considered a gift. So if you were interested in paying for your kid's college or something of that nature, and you didn't want it to be considered a gift, then you could have it written into the decree. As long as the judge agrees with it, then that won't be considered, because it is your obligation. If they're your dependent, they're your kids, whatever that situation is, and so you'd pay for it and it wouldn't be an issue. The fourth one is going to be your divorces. So if you have a divorce decree, then you're paying things like alimony. The way the court looks at that is it's almost like two business partners ending a corporation, and then you settle all of the debt. So maybe this person got the house, but this person has to pay a certain amount a month, or this person has to pay a certain amount a month, but they were able to keep the cars. Whatever that looks like, that's just settling debts. So if you're settling debts, that's just not really thought of as a gift. So as a result, any type of debts that you have in a divorce, that's not considered a gift, and so you don't have to worry about the gift tax when it comes to that either. Which leads us very nicely into the fifth one. So the fifth one is your business settings. Now this one, anytime that you have a business where they're gifting, whether you talk about things like the golden parachute, where you're the CEO and then you get like this nice package when you leave, or whatever that is, your severance package, however that looks, that's really considered from a tax perspective, not a gift, but payment for services rendered. So overall, the government feels like, hey, look, you got a business, you worked in the business. If they're giving you something, then you probably earned that. And I'm cool with that. If you worked in a business, if you helped the business grow and they want to gift you something, they want to say thank you for your services, they want to give a little extra in your retirement plan or anything of that nature, you earned it. You worked for the company, you did amazing services, and as a result, they're very appreciative. And how do we show our thanks? Generally, in the economic sense, we show our thanks by paying for something. When you pay for something, that's how you say thank you. All right, I appreciate what you did. Here's the money, right? I'm thankful for that service. Just like your divorce decrees and your businesses, the government sees those as like contracts where you have services that you're doing, and if it didn't work, you're settling the debts. If it did work, then you're being paid for services rendered. So they're not considered a gift, which is just something that you want to think about when it comes to how do you structure your finances? How are things looking in your family? If the government is saying if your assets are structured in a particular way, then we're not going to tax you, then it would be beneficial to most people to structure their assets in a way that the government is like, I like what you guys are doing. That works very well. And the businesses are one of those. It's seen as payment for services rendered, so it is not considered a gift tax, and that can be very beneficial for you. That leads us into the sixth one, which is anything with your spouse. So because the government sees you and your spouse as one entity, right, that's part of the reason where if you went to the hospital and they said, hey, visiting hours are over at, 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, so everybody has to leave, your spouse is able to stay in the hospital because they're seen as one entity. You can't tell the person's spouse to leave because they're seen as the same person. When a lawyer, right, you have certain lawyer-client confidentiality privileges, well, that's true for spouses as well. Spouses aren't generally forced to incriminate each other because you're two halves of the same person, right? Your left hand and your right hand. How do you force your right hand to tell on the left hand? And as a result, spouses generally have extra protections, and the tax code is no different. As a result of you being seen as one entity, you have the benefit of being able to give everything to your spouse without it being taxed. It's considered an unlimited tax gift when it comes to your spouse. Now, you do have to both be U.S. citizens. If your spouse is not a U.S. citizen, then you don't have the unlimited gift of U.S. citizens. I believe the number is somewhere around like $160,000. I know it was about $157,000 in 2020. It goes up slightly each year, so it's probably really close to $160,000, and that is an annual. And sometimes it's called the spousal superannual exclusion, where you can give $160,000 each year to your spouse without that amount being taxed. But again, when you compare that to the unlimited amount to U.S. citizens versus the amount if you have one U.S. and one non-U.S. citizen, naturally it's a great amount. I mean, who wouldn't benefit from that? But there is a limit, and so it is worth knowing. And the last one is charitable gifts. So you find amongst the very wealthy that they normally have a nonprofit, something that they're very passionate about, a change that they want to create in the world. Our family, we're no different in the sense that we have a nonprofit. It's called Forecast Hope, and we focus on creating systemic equality. And whatever that looks like in different aspects of our life, it could be employment, it could be family, it could be wealth building, it could be education, housing. There's different things that we focus on where if people are equipped with the right mindsets, where they're made aware of the different strategies, we can then create systemic equality for everyone. And when you focus on the things that you want and you devote time and resources to them, you really want to make sure that that nonprofit keeps going. There are some where a spouse or someone dies and then they use the life insurance money to start a nonprofit. There are so many stories and reasons that people focus on creating nonprofits, but the general idea is we're trying to make the world a better place. And as a result, Uncle Sam says that is a great thing for our country. And so because of that, we will allow you to give an unlimited amount of charitable contributions where that amount won't be subject to the gift tax. And it's nice because you'll find a lot of families, if you are going to have to pay the estate tax, which could be anywhere from like 18 to 40%. So I usually just say like half, right? If you just say like half, for most people, once you get there, because you have to have over close to 13 million, and I know you guys want the exact amount, it's like $12.9 million. If you have more than that, then the amount that is over that limit will be taxed with the estate tax, or the death tax is kind of how we often refer to it. But if you have the choice of saying, okay, I'm either going to pay this amount in taxes, or I can donate that amount to a nonprofit that I'm passionate about, that I've volunteered at, and events that I've supported, what would you choose? For me, I would choose to give to the nonprofit. Let's leave the world a better place. Let's work together. I'm pretty sure when I read about Warren Buffett, he was talking about signing that pledge where he's not going to pass down all of his wealth to his kids. And he signed the pledge where they're going to donate it and give it to different causes and supports and things like that. But he did give each of his kids, I think it was $1 billion in their nonprofit. Well, that is a non-taxable event. You've given to the nonprofit. And then, of course, all you would have to do then is, you're being regulated, so it's not just a slush fund. But as long as your kid works within the nonprofit, they get paid a salary. You can look up any nonprofit salary, right? Goodwill has salaries. All these nonprofits do. Now, some of them are higher than others, but the employees, they get paid. And if you get paid in the nonprofit, then you're able to tie your kid to a cause that they believe in, a cause that you believe in, something that you want to support, but then you're able to also take care of them and give them the money without it being taxed. So it's another great strategy. Really what I want you guys to understand is when you ask them the question, Dre, can I give $30,000 or $100,000 or $1 million to my kid without it being taxed? The answer is normally no if you just want to hand them a check. But hopefully you're able to see that the answer could be yes if you design and structure your generational wealth strategies in a way that allows your family to take advantage of some of these benefits, which I enjoy because now you're not just passing money, but you're also passing some of your core values. Is there something that you feel very passionate about, that your kids feel passionate about, that you want to support that passion? Well, then you could give them the amount without it being taxed to you, and you can give them an unlimited amount, which I think is pretty nice. Did you know that over 70% of Americans are stressed about their finances? And with no wonder. 65% of Americans are retiring broke every year. 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck with no end in sight. And the majority of generational wealth is lost by the third generation. If you are ready to unlock generational wealth through strategic retirement planning, I invite you to join my free 5-day Wealthy Retirement Challenge by clicking on the link below. In it, I will show you my proven 5-step process to never have to worry about money again. And unlike the influencers who only skim the surface, overpromise, and underdeliver, I have over 15 years of experience in the financial industry, a master's in economics, and I'm a fiduciary fee-only financial planner for my own investment advisory firm. You are not going to successfully retire and build generational wealth with short-term fads like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and Forex trading. Nor are you going to secure your family's financial freedom for generations to come with $1 million life insurance policy. If you only needed a bag of money, why does the majority of lottery winners and professional athletes go broke within a few years? You can't give your kids a bunch of fish and expect them to know how to catch the fish once you're gone. If you are serious about escaping the rat race of trading time for money, then you will benefit from joining my free 5-day Wealthy Retirement Challenge by clicking on the link below. I look forward to seeing you there.